Alternate history speculation is pointless. There are so many things that happen that influence other things. You can't just hit the high points and expect you're remotely right. I think there's a reason why alternate history speculation is generally the purview of losers and virgins, you know. I think that there's like a there's something there, you know. There's a reason to that. I'm not saying it can't be interesting, but it's no coincidence. I think a lot of it is, of course, the fact that like ass mad Nazis want to believe, you know, that if the Nazis had won or whatever else. I think a large part of it is also a lot of people want to believe everything wrong in the world can be traced back to some like specific fuck up, you know, the bad timeline. They like thinking about the world in that way, playing God. You know, weirdly enough, my favorite bit of alt history fiction that I ever read was when I was a child. And, well, this might be more of an indictment of how often I read, I guess, but still, you know, any like kind of alt history, whatever. It was a kid's book series. I don't remember its title. Maybe one of you guys will fill me in. It was a human boy who could go to different worlds because he found out that he had the power to like save people or some shit. There was like portals between different worlds, and there was a portal that led to the future and past of Earth as well. It was just one. He couldn't go to any time. It was like specific junctions that he could go to. I don't remember. No, not Magic Treehouse, not Pendragon. Wait, was it Pendragon? Oh shit, it was Pendragon. I remember that. Yeah, the Never War. I remember. I think, if I remember correctly, one of the plots was like, he went back in time and he tried to stop the Hindenburg disaster, but it led to the Nazis winning because the company that ran the Hindenburg blimp was also funneling like military secrets between the America and Germany, and it led to Germany getting the atomic bomb faster than America did, and then they nuked the out of America and won the World War II or something like that. So that the final plot was like, in order to stop Hitler, we have to make Hindenburg happen. I remember liking it when I was a kid. Zizek has a small analysis of all history in which he argues that all history is dominated by conservatives because it allows them to fantasize about a time prior to democratic revolutions and egalitarian sentiments. It's less about speculation and more like historical pornography. That's true. You do notice that alt history is almost always about empires and dictators and almost never about popular revolutions and democracies, right? Like alt history timelines almost always involve the expansion of the state or of like particular leaders. Like it's almost always framed in those terms. Very rarely about you know, anything like liberating. Good point. Thank you, Zizek. Smart guy. Smart guy. The better timeline would have been the German communists taking over after World War One. Oh God, yes. That would have been that would have been like, that's like one of the pivotal points in European history. Yeah, that would have done it right there. What about Kaiser Reich type old histories where syndicalist revolutions dominate? See, what you're talking about right now, it's nerd shit and I don't care. You're waffling right now and I just don't care. What if an alt history timeline were good guys, but I don't care. You know, this is all like Hearts of Iron EU shit. I don't care about any of it. You know, a lot of people's understanding of politics really does seem to be like heavily constrained by the limitations of Paradox games. It literally is Hearts of Iron 4. Oh, okay, yeah, I can call that shit at a distance. I have nothing but contempt for those games and what they do to people. So it's just a wretched series that makes wretched men. No respect. You don't like Stellaris? I've never played Stellaris. What about the trans girls who play Hearts of Iron 4? What about them? What do you think of this Japanese all history? I don't care. I'm not even clicking on that. Vosh, you have to be mindful of your target audience. That's true. It's not very prudent to me, is it? Yeah, Russian alt history novels have Hearts of Iron 4 brain rot, lol. Yeah. All I know about trans girls that play Hearts of Iron 4 is 100% of them have an opinion about Vosh. Yeah, and that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. That's not good. Yeah, they're completely lost. I don't know. Because I've talked to a few people who have like Hearts of Iron brain, and the way they understand politics is just so lost. They don't have I don't know. They're so caught up in like, what if this happened or what if that happened, but it's always like really weird edge case that probably wouldn't happen anyway bullshit. It's just so strange. I don't know. Yeah, Vicky 1999 made a video on what if Germany became communist, you should watch it. What about anything that I've just said would make you think I was even remotely interested in alternate history as a concept? Why would, after everything that I've said, why would you think I'd want to watch a video on what if a different thing happened? Who the cares? It didn't happen. A lot of unironically, I think this is what leads a lot of you to be suicidal, okay? And I know you are, okay? I can see into your heart even through the screen, all right? It's because you get so locked up thinking about history and time as a like series of discrete historical events that things could have been better if only you could have been like pulling at the marionette strings at the right time, you know? You start thinking of everything in these grand civilizational terms, like you're looking at the world from the perspective of like a chess player looking down at a chessboard. If only this could have, if only that could have, if only I could have, you know. I think it's a terrible way of thinking about things. It leads to a bunch of really bad historical perspectives. Great man theory, you know, I think it leads to an authoritarian mindset because you start thinking of like historical progress as a series of discrete actions taken by leaders and empires rather than by like a collection of material forces. It's not Marxist. It's not dialectical. I reject this. GJ also compares alt history to animal nature documentaries in which we fantasize about what if humans didn't alter nature. It allows them to erase themselves and view an imagined world from an external lens that erases humans and themselves and let nature play out. For Zizek, this is the logic of alt history. Man, he's such a smart guy. I wish I had his brain. He's kind of dumb sometimes too. All smart guys are dumb sometimes. That's like part of the territory. You understand what I mean about material forces, right? I know that there are some games, I know Paradox games to a large extent do have like, you know, the tides of history kind of bowl you over, but I feel like it's almost impossible to simulate that effectively and also give a person a feeling of agency, you know, over a, you know, it'd be kind of a fun civilization builder game. What if rather than playing as a leader or a commander or some kind of like top level figure, you know, what if like, in every tick of the game world that advances, you instead occupy the position of a randomly determined person in society, like a farmer or a merchant or a peasant or maybe sometimes a knight or even a lord, but it's always random. And you can like, with the limit of your social worth and weight and political capital in that tick of the game universe moving forward, you can make like an impact, and then it like kind of rolls forward over time like a big, you know, tidal wave that builds. So you never have like any single, there's no one person making decisions. It's more like, you know, you shove in the right place and over time the things kind of spill out, you know. That'd be kind of cool. I know that everyone is about to say, oh, this is just like this game, and they're going to list a game that I've never played that definitely isn't like what I just said. Like Spore. Yeah, like Spore. Yeah, like Spore. Exactly like Spore. Yeah, I have played Spore. So no, not like Spore. Yeah, this is just like Mario. But yeah, I think that might be cool. You know, you could kind of think of it in a little more of a dialectical sense, I guess. Because you wouldn't always be on the same team, right? Sometimes you would be like a peasant working one direction. Sometimes you'd be a lord working in the other. You wouldn't like, it wouldn't be like you'd be like one consciousness operating through a bunch of different people to do one thing. It would just be like you're getting these little like slices of a life where you get a chance to do something more impactful than you might otherwise get to do. I don't know. Could be kind of cool. Getting like a little story bit for who you are, get a feel for the character. I don't know. Could be cool. Not a fan of the Total War games, I take it? No, well, the Total War games I'm okay with. Well, the only one I've played is Total War Warhammer, which is just fantasy, not alt fantasy. But also, that's mostly a combat simulator, you know? People don't really play the Total War games for the Civ building elements. They play them for the sick-ass battles, you know, which is cool. I actually like the Civ part of it, ooh. Well, the Civ, all I can say is that the Civ part of Total War Warhammer is like, here's the ancient capital city. Do you want to build a barracks or a dick-sucking factory? Dick-sucking factory, okay. Now go move forward with your army, the important part of the game. Like, there's not really much civ building, you know? It's you fight. I take it you played Slaanesh. Sorry, I'm a dwarf main. Thank you. Good dwarves are racist caricature dwarves? I think that Warhammer Fantasy dwarves are pretty fun, actually. I like how spiteful they are. Their whole thing is that they live a long time, and they're big at industry, obviously, but they're also really fucking angry. Like, really, really, really angry. And anytime you like, wrong them in any way, you get written down in the Book of Grudges. Like, every big house and family has a giant tome of people they're mad at that they keep on them. It's pretty good. I like it.